Welcome back to Wake Up Epic. This is a deep dive about something I think you're going to love. How do you feel about control? How do you feel about authority? When I asked this on social media, boy, were there a lot of responses. Most people do not like control unless they have it. Most people do not like authority unless it's theirs. So in this Wake Up Epic, we're going to be transforming the shadows of control and seeing what you can learn from your own body, mind, wisdom about authority for you. Because if there's one thing I can probably guarantee is that you have a sense of authority that you own to some degree. So if we can move the needle just a little bit about how much of your own authority you own, then what's going to be possible for your authenticity, your integrity, your creativity, and everything you're contributing to. I'm Alex Iglesia, and in these Wake Up Epic experiences, they're short but deep dives into the embodiment of specific themes. We're looking at the 21st hexagram. That's also to say the 21st gene key or the 21st human design gate. Now this gate, key, and hexagram is built of two trigrams, a top one and a bottom one. The top one is yang, yin, yang, which is to say it's forward in the world, down and listening, sensing, more passive than active, and wide with a perspective. So that very, very famous phrase of out there in the field beyond right and wrong, let's meet there. So we're coming into field. In UZAZU, this is called field, this field posture, this field mind-body dynamic where we're out in the world exploring. So this 21st hexagram has the context of we're in a world together where hopefully it's interesting. Hopefully we're navigating it well. There's a little bit of play. There's some interest, some curiosity. The bottom trigram represents your choice, what you're doing in that world. And it's yang, yin, yin. We're looking at forward in the world. By the way, this is to contrast being away from the world in our own stuff, which is very important to do good self-care. So in this bottom of the trigram, we're forward in bridge, down, and narrow, which is to say we're in bridge in UZAZU. And the ideal here is a sense of connection. So anytime you're reading something and the headline or a paragraph stands out to you, and like some part of you knows this is important, pay attention. There's a resonance. When you're with somebody and all of a sudden your presence locks in and you're authentically fully engaged and interested, it's resonance, it's an empathic connection there. So we can always be a little bit out of it, a little bit in it, and then sometimes locked in completely. So the embodied story then is something like, in this space, this perspective space, this free-flowing space of lots of possibilities, I'm going to hone in my connection for the relationship. This relationship is very primary here. And from the experience we have in this relationship, I'm going to bring that back into what I'm doing, what I'm up to, where I'm going. It's something like that. So what does that have to say about control? Imagine control, there's so many things happening, but we've got to put boundaries on it. We've got to tighten other reins. And I'm getting an image of bowling with the bumpers, right? Constrain it, but in a way that, oh, may be helpful, maybe not. Or what if just being out here doesn't feel good? And so I can't quite, it feels so not good that it's hard to determine what's valuable and what's useful to connect to. Or you're just overwhelmed. So what do we do to try to manage that overwhelm? We try to control things again. So there's if you notice one dimension here that's really at play, they're both down, they're both forward, but one is narrow, one is wide. What does that mean? We could spend a day on that. But primarily, it's the difference between letting your peripheral vision go and being available to many possibilities and many things going on, which can be overwhelming, or how narrow you bring your focus. This one thing, this one thing. So the forest and the trees is really the difference here. And it's interesting because in human design, the archetype here says it's the gate of the hunter and the huntress. who controls where you live, what you want, what you eat. And the energy has the drive to create or gather material things. So again, trees and forests. What are you looking for? Can you find it? So what we'll do next, two things, and we'll be wrapping up with this mini class. There are 4 specific beliefs that come out of this movement pattern. We'll go through each of those, and it's really, really great because these movement patterns are really generating the quality of the statements to do the movement patterns with the statements. It's a really great synergy. It's a great approach. And then we'll let go of the statements and just dive into the movement pattern for about 3 rounds to see what the pattern by itself has to teach you, where you might be a little hesitant, where you might be a little overexcited, and just notice like what's familiar. So I'll walk you through it. It's a really lovely experience, and it can do a few things. It can open up the possibility of, in this case, authority, but it'll also help you heal and identify what you might need to let go of. You ready? So we have the movement pattern of field and bridge. So I'm going to ask you now to just come forward wherever you are, standing or sitting, drop down, don't let your legs get too tired, and let your arms play around with narrow and wide. And as you go from wide to narrow, let your attention go wide, narrow, wide, get peripheral, narrow, get focused, so that your body is moving through these states. So here are the 4 statements. First one, and I'm going to say this in pieces so that you can repeat it and use your voice with this too. I can allow the context and the situation to inform how I connect with others. Number 2, I can connect with people from a place of mutual respect and consideration. Notice if any words slow down your body, almost like you're moving more through molasses than thin air. That's a really great sign to pay attention to. So belief number 3, or possibility number 3, I can hold clear and reasonable expectations about the people I'm close to. And last one, I can align my needs and I can align my expectations with the context that I'm in. Great job. All right, release that, let it go. So 3 rounds now, with all that now in the background, in your body, having maybe disturbed your inner ecosystem a little bit or inspired it. We'll do 3 rounds of the movement. We start with neutral, we come out to field, we come close to bridge, we come back to field, we come out into neutral. We'll do that 3 times. I'll give you less and less instruction each time so that you have more and more space to just listen. And of course, this is a great tool to take on for the next few days if you find that this theme is especially important to you. Here we go. Control and authority. Step forward into field. Find a balanced flow. Narrow to bridge. Connect with something. Once that connection clicks back into place, open up to field. How does field different now? And back to neutral. Very good. Number 2, authority, the gifts of authority, your gifts of authority. Come forward to field. aim your bridge, narrow the bridge, but see what naturally draws your attention. Get your balance in both your feet. Feel stable. When you're ready, open back up to feel, take in more of the space around you. How's it different? Good. Let go, neutral. Do you notice some people say, like, in neutral, there's still something to notice. Like, you take the sip of wine and you put the wine down, but there's still that remaining experience. It's like, it's not done. It's still settling. You're changing your nervous system each time we do this. Last time, the gifts of authority and the potential of valor. What's valor like? Here we go. Feel. Keep your balance in your feet, but explore the space. Bring your narrowness into bridge with something in your space. And again, find balance with your feet. And after that seems to land for you, open back up to a field. And let go of the practice. Okay, great job. How did that go for you? Want to keep exploring, what is this relationship between being out here in the world as a listening member and participant who's able and capable of cultivating the connections that are important, and then how that then informs what we're doing, how we're participating, how we're exploring. This is, since both of these moves are very down, there's a lot of self-regulation inherent in this. So really, really great for impulse control, overactive minds, and finding a natural focus. Remember, it's the hunter, the huntress, who's got a sense of authority over her domain and a sense of being able to focus on what they are aiming for. So how is that you? Thanks for being epic. Thanks for waking up epic with me. And I hope you have a fantastic next few days exploring these essences and themes of authority and control, because you're worth it. You're worth investing that time into. So have a fantastic couple of days practice. Let me know, are there more themes you want to explore? How are these practices going for you? And if there's any other way I can support you, reach out to me in a heartbeat. I'm here for you. Have a great, great day.